This is my dad's 1 in 72nd Avro York. We don't know what kit this is based on, whether it is a vac form conversion. Let's give it a tap. I think this is a vac form conversion. My dad brought this built from eBay. He buys most of his models built now due to his health conditions. If he was to attempt to build something like this, it would be going for another 30 years, which unfortunately, when you get to 67, you might not have 30 more years to enjoy your model. So someone has done an excellent job of putting this together from, this looks like the Airfix kit because it's got raised details, and the Mad Riveter was clearly in operation here. Now this kit does have a nice cockpit with lots of detail and the Astro desk, but then the windows are just kind of markings, which is absolutely fine. It does have a nice side window and lovely little aerials. So someone has clearly done a good job on this. Whoever you are, well done, thank you. And my dad is now enjoying this Avro York. He's absolutely desperate to get hold of a Handley Page Haystacks or Hastings and an Argosy. And I'm doing some reconfiguring of the Yorkshire Unofficial Air Museum so that he can see these from his chair in the living room, when he's awake, that is. But yeah, a lovely model this, the York. What you don't necessarily realise about the York, and there is one of these at Cosford, is that actually, oh, is it Cosford or is it Duxford? Gosh, my dad's got bad health and I've got a bad memory thanks to boxing. But there we go, somewhere in a museum, somewhere in Britain, there is one of these. And what you might not necessarily realise initially is just look at how wide the fuselage of the York is. And then the main deficiency as a transport aircraft for the York is, of course, this is your access to the cargo bay here. And there is a York in a museum. It might be Duxford. Gosh, my memory is terrible. But they've got it, and you can see like how difficult it is to load. So really, the aircraft that came after this, one of the main differences and what made them better as airlifters was, of course, you had a rear ramp. And the rear ramp means that the tail is set higher and you can drive on and off and you can get cargo on and off. What they could have done was do a detachable tail, but of course then you're interfering with the control runs and everything like that, or a swinging tail. I certainly think in the 50s there were lots of ideas, and air forces were looking at how they should use cargo planes. The York was of course a pretty primitive cargo plane, but it served in the Berlin airlift and it did its job. And I think it makes a lovely little model.